Okay guys, here it is. I am finally making a video about no contact situations when it comes to an SP. Now, I have my nifty iPad here because I am trying to organize my thoughts. If you've watched my videos, you know that I just kind of let my brain wander where it will, and this one needed to be organized, so bear with me as I get through this. But I want to first say that I personally do not have a lot of experience with situations where you have been blocked or having someone tell you, maybe after a volatile experience or interaction, maybe some sort of hostile interaction where someone says that they do not want you to speak to them anymore. And while I think that my video can still help for those situations, I will not be addressing them specifically because I just don't know how to advise on them. I haven't really studied them closely in my personal life, but if you would like to work one-on-one with me for your unique situation, I would be happy to help you get to the bottom of it. One-on-one sessions are available, but that being said, I do think that this video will still help. I just wanted to be very upfront that I do not have experience in that area. So I am going to be talking about like hot and cold situations, lapses in communication, or ghosting, which can feel like the end of the world. These things are manifesting because there is some sort of, trigger, fear, wound within us. So objectively, it's not that serious, but it feels really serious at the time. And I have personally dealt with this in many areas of my life, not just when it comes to romantic partners. And so it's something that I've been studying very closely over the past year or so. And I am really excited to bring through my findings so that I can share my advice with you guys about how you can search within yourself to identify and heal these things and manifest easy, breezy, beautiful CoverGirl communication. Okay, so first I want to say I want this video to help you shift your mentality around what no contact is. I don't want you to see it anymore as someone punishing you or ghosting you. I don't want ghosting to be like if you get through this video and you do this healing, ghosting won't even exist in your reality. You'll just start to see things as lapses in communication, stagnant energy, space, natural ebb and flow. It won't seem like such an intentional action taken against you, but really get in tune with what the feeling inside you is when I talk about this. So if someone you cared about were to ghost you, take a look at the ways that you would perceive that action, because what is ghosting? Someone didn't respond to you, right? And maybe you see them active on social media, or I don't know. But imagine now that the person that, if they behaved this way towards you, it would upset you. Imagine that it was your sister instead, or a friend. Think of that friend that, you talk to every once in a while, you're still really close, but you guys just kind of ebb and flow. How about your mom? Take some time to sit with that. How would you perceive the same behavior from your mother or your best friend or a distant friend or your cousin even? Now I know that obviously we all have our own unique relationships with these people, so this could be a negative thing, but I'm trying to say seek out the people where if they behaved in this way, you would see it as nothing personal and you would have a lot of neutrality around it. Maybe you would just automatically say, oh, they must be really busy right now, or oh, they must be going through something, but you know that they love you and you know that they care about you, and the timing of when they come back just isn't really important to you. So sit with that, take a look at that, just really analyze the way that this same behavior that triggers you in one certain situation doesn't trigger you with other types of relationship dynamics. I feel like I could have just said that to begin with and it would have been quicker, but There you go. So then moving on from that, okay, take the situation where it bothers you, which we're probably talking about romantic relationships because we place a lot of emphasis around our self-worth on this. Now, ask yourself this question. Before I say it, I want you to know that this is probably going to take time to do this work. So I'm going to pose these questions, and you're probably going to need to sit with them, journal on them, get your thoughts out, meditate on it. When you're working out, like, is how I meditate. You don't have to just sit quietly in one place and listen to music. I like to do yoga and get my thoughts out. I like to take just a notebook that I don't care much about and just start scribbling out my thoughts, or I like to just type them into my phone. I'll even use the voice to text feature, because that way I'm like letting my brain say things, and I'll be surprised sometimes by what comes out of my mouth. But that way it's like you're talking it out, but you don't have to talk to another person that might be reflecting and reinforcing negative cycles or thoughts that you have within yourself. So anyway, ask this question I'm just saying, like, I'm posing all these questions, and you're probably going to need to take some time with all of them. What does this prove to me? So take a no contact situation and ask yourself, what does this prove to me or for me? For example, maybe you were in a relationship and things weren't really great, but you were working hard on it, and all of a sudden this person ghosts you. What does this prove for me? Oh, it proves that I wasn't even able to talk things out with them because they didn't even give me the chance. So maybe your communication skills aren't being put to the test. Maybe it's proving that this person is just showing you that, no one's ever good enough for you. Maybe you have a belief around that. Ask yourself, how does this shift responsibility from you onto the other person? Because I've found that in ghosting situations or no contact situations or just no communication, it's really me shifting responsibility onto someone else and then preventing a situation from happening. As always, my cat is distracting me. What do you avoid because they aren't communicating? Are you avoiding an argument? Do you have fear around confrontation? Do you have a fear that you don't handle conflict well? Do you have a fear that once things get to a certain point in a relationship, they're going to fall apart? Just really ask yourself a lot of questions around this. It's a little difficult for me to give solid examples because it is such a complex, unique thing for each one of us. But ask yourself what the common themes are when it comes to the wounds that create the no contact. Are you afraid of someone witnessing a part of you, and so the no contact happens so that they don't see it? Because maybe you're afraid of something that you do when it comes to tough situations or tough conversations that need to happen. Maybe you're afraid of that vulnerability that needs to happen, and so you're just putting a pause on things and not letting things progress further. Because you really need space, is what no contact is you truly manifesting the fact that you need space. Whether or not your conscious mind wants it or thinks you should have it, your subconscious mind is like, this is what we need right now and this is what's best for us. So we're trying to get to the bottom of why your subconscious mind thinks that this is best for you. So is there something you're afraid of them seeing in whatever was going to happen next, right before the ghosting happened? Why do you need space from whatever this next progression was? Or are you feeling that you need to be punished for something that happened just before it? Did you act in a way that is probably totally normal, but you've been made to feel is not acceptable? Now, obviously, you probably don't really deserve to be punished. I don't think that that's something that would ever be really fair to say. But this is coming from something wounded within yourself. And so this is where it is very important to have a lot of compassion and non-judgment for yourself, because whatever's going to come up might seem pretty crazy. If it's subconscious and you're not consciously creating the no contact, then there's something within you that might be surprising for you to see. I mean, the stuff that I revealed about myself, it's like when I was journaling, answering these questions for me, I literally was writing down the thing that came up, and it took everything in me not to be like, what the heck are you talking about? That is ridiculous. Why would you ever think that that's possible? Because if there's a scared part of yourself that's finally coming up for a healing, you don't want to be like, what are you doing? Why would you think that? You don't want to act that way towards them. They're finally being vulnerable enough to tell you their fears and bring it to your conscious level. You want to be very non-judgmental, loving, and understanding, because this is going to set the relationship you have with yourself and increase your ability to heal with ease, because you will feel safe to bring anything and everything that you're afraid of to your attention and know that it's going to be met with unconditional love. Again, sounds easy, probably a little difficult to practice. It takes practice. Okay, so yeah, really, really emphasizing that you should really hold space for yourself with whatever this truth is to feel safe to bring it to you. Because yeah, this block really may seem insane to your conscious mind, but there's a part of you that was really hurt and really feels this very deeply and really thinks that this is the best course of action or the only course of action. And when we get judgmental towards ourselves, we typically shut those parts down. And if we are truly trying to heal, then we really need to be loving and help ourselves be more forthcoming about what wounds we carry deep inside, and also be very understanding of the time it takes for this to fully surface and process. This might happen in layers. They say healing is a spiral, so this might take time. It's probably going to be layers after layers, and it's not just going to happen one right after the other in this like nonstop revelation of your wounding. Like, you're going to have your own process to this, so relax into trusting the timing it takes for you in your own healing. So another note that I wrote down was to really focus on feelings of safety around communication, because for whatever reason, communication has stopped because you don't feel safe to have it. You either need space, maybe you feel that the other person, this is a common thing I've observed in people, is that we often don't ask for space when we feel that the other person might try to manipulate us or argue with us or convince us in some way to not set a boundary that we are trying to set. So if you don't feel comfortable setting and enforcing boundaries because you don't feel that you deserve them, then you might want to take a look at that. That might be something worth investigating. But I am going to wrap this up with my final thoughts on the fact that we should really stop seeing no contact as someone else taking action against us. We create everything in our reality. This person is respecting your energetic request, because let's not forget that we are energetic beings and we are in a physical projection of our energetic self, our higher consciousness. So whatever is going on in our conscious energy body is being manifested constantly into our 3D reality, and that's where things can take time to catch up and whatever, but communication is happening on an energetic level first, between souls, between consciousness, all of that. So this person didn't just suddenly do this in the 3D to you for no reason. Something went on an energetic level. Your energetic state said, I need this, and that person reacted to that request, and it showed up in this way. Because let's also not forget that people have their own will and choices and their own reality, but they are always going to show up in your perception I love that I'm wording this like exactly as it's coming through to me. So they're going to show up in your perception according to your needs and your beliefs. They're still their own person, but your perception of them is always going to be based on you. So the actions they take, you are going to perceive them the way that you believe them, based on all of your internal subconscious everything. What they're actually doing probably has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them, right? But we are going to perceive it the way that reflects our woundings and our beliefs. So really dive into, why do I perceive this in the way that I do? I hope that this video has been helpful. Before I wrap it up again, I just want to say we should really start seeing lapses in communication, ebbs in communication, as that person respecting your energetic needs and probably their own. There we go. Gonna end it there. So if you'd like to work one-on-one with me, info is down in the box on my website, thealexandrarose.com. I do create bonus content every week for my Patreons, which the link is down below. I cater it specifically to my community's needs. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this video. What can I expand on? What would you like to know more about? I am really excited to get into SP videos. It's something I've been studying greatly, and so I'm really ready to bring through a ton of info. So let me know what you would like to hear more of. I will make note of it and put it on my list to do, and I will see you in the next video.